Croissant? I'm sorry, Max Time. It's not like I've had any other news of the week. Here you go, guys. I'll give you the unbitten half. Media Lunas? Interesting. Good, Hazardous. Scrum. I like croissant, the word, just because you can say it so stupidly. Croissant. It's like strong bad. You ever heard of a croissant? What's up, guys? Oh, shoot. I didn't get that set up. It's okay. I can set up very quickly. We're going to find out that as much as Nintendo is awesome, Nintendo is also awful today. I'm serious. I have missed you guys. Let's go ahead and do this. Do this. Boom. So as a reminder, the Floodgates Voot is happening. Like now. Like right this very second. So, reminder. We've got a lot of votes in. Let me pull up the list here real quick. We've got a bunch of votes in so far. Some things are looking pretty likely to happen. I'm not going to name names. Don't want to affect anyone's votes. Some things are very unlikely to happen and have no votes. That doesn't really surprise me all that much. Although I am a little surprised Bloodstained has no votes so far. That's okay. While we're here in the kind of getting... You're damn right I did, Tazara. I actually have the whole system set up. Yes, this is for Ruminations. You know what? I was going to talk about this next week. I've come up with a wild, crazy, and indeed insane idea I wanted to run by you guys. One of the biggest problems I've run into for years at this point is I've found no way to connect Patreon with the streaming, right? You don't like my variance mixes? Something classic? Sniffle, sniffle? Changing the key is actually the main point. The fact that the song is sped up or slowed down is actually irrelevant. But anyways. So, the problem is... Yeah, it's basically a logistical thing, Darth Tyrant. It's almost, I know this is going to sound strange, but it's effectively impossible to directly connect Patreon to the funding for the streams. Because the way Patreon works is every month, you get, whatever you have pledged comes in, and that becomes part of my monthly income. But there's no way to be like, okay, so you, Bob, you put $2 a month, right? There's nothing to automate the process of me seeing that Bob has put $2 in, and to give you like a poll or whatever that you want to put that $2 towards. By contrast, the subs over here, donations and bits, that's easy to keep track of. I get a notification right here, over on the side of my screen, and I jot it down right then and there, the moment it happens. Make sense? Now the downside of my system is if you sub or donate, off camera, I don't see that. I have no way of seeing that, in fact. But you get the idea. It just doesn't work that way with Patreon, though. There's no way to connect the two dots. Now, the idea I've been having, and this is threadbare, is Patreon has somewhat recently implemented a polling system. And the way this works is you can have a poll of up to 20 things, and that allows you to... What I would do is I would throw up a poll probably once a month, probably like on the 5th or so, something like that. And then you'd see the poll, and I'll just put, like, say, the top 20 or so streams on there. Now, again, the poll is limited to 20. In short, well, if you're not aware of why that's a thing, if you look at the website right now, we have more than 20 games on the list. Because, yeah. So what I would have to do is I'd have to manually come up with a list of the bottom 20 games is what I do, not the top. The bottom 20 games currently for funding and interest. And I'd say, you know, which of these would you like to put your monthly Patreon towards funding? And the problem there, again, is the fact that it wouldn't be funding, because none of that money would go towards it, because I have no way of checking how much you are putting in a month without a lot of manual back-checking. Now, I don't mind doing the manual back-checking for the Ruminations thing, because we do that once a year. But when it comes to manual back-checking every month for like 233 people, you can kind of see why I'm not really willing to accept doing that. So the idea would be there'd be a poll, you'd vote, and then, you know, the numbers would show increased interest and not funding towards specific streams. Not exactly the best solution, I'll admit it, but it's the best I have come up with, and I'm still kind of tossing it around. Obviously, I wouldn't even start that yet. I would wait until the floodgates are closed, because I don't want to confuse people with a poll in the middle of the floodgates. But, yeah. So that's kind of an idea I've had, and we'll see. Where's the chat? Where'd the chat go? It was just here. Someone say something real quick. There we go. What the hell? Shini's Taga, you killed the chat. How could you? That was very strange. Anyways, moving on. I'm gonna do a little more additional looking into that. But today is all about Mini Nations. That's my big goal for the next couple of days, is to get the Young Justice Season 1 and Season 2 stuff done. I am happy to report that I've actually finished several mainline Ruminations already, including the Dollars Trilogy. So that's awesome. I'm working on Days Gone right now, because that's a long game. I know Max Time, but we're not doing Season 3, as I've mentioned several times. What was funded and paid for and requested was Season 1 and 2, and that's what we're doing. So we're not doing Season 3, period. I shouldn't even be doing Mini Nations at all, but I said I would, and so I will. But the problem is that Mini Nations take up lots and lots of time. Way more time than I thought they would. And that's time I could be spending streaming or working on the main Ruminations, so... Thank you, SJ. Oh, Justin T has just voted. Now, see, just to give you guys a little bit of an insight on how this whole process works. So Justin T just voted, right? Justin T. So I got an email notification of that, so I'm going to pull that up really quick on my phone. And on my website, I'm going to go check to make sure he's actually a patron. Now, you might say, Lore, that's horrible. He actually only voted once. That irritates me. Why did you only vote once? Damn you, man. Well, anyways, the point is I then check to make sure that he is a real patron. Now, he is. That doesn't surprise me. But I check for every single person just in case. In fact, I am actually really proud of you guys. This year, I've only had one fake patron this entire Floodgate cycle. That's a record, by the way. Assuming we stay at one, that is going to be a record for amount of, fake patrons. So that's awesome. You guys are awesome. A fake patron is someone who... Okay. It costs you nothing, and it gives me nothing for you to become a patron. In short, if you sign up and say, I pledge $500 a month on the Patreon site, I don't get $500. You have pledged $500. Now, you're still a patron. The site still considers you a patron, so you still have access to all the patron-specific stuff. But you don't get charged until, actually, the 1st is when you get charged. Now... In short, well, see, now I don't get an email when you edit it, so I'm going to have to go double check this, which is why I ask you guys not to edit things. So hang on, let's go find the actual post now. It's okay, I've already verified that he's a real patron. Oh yeah, it's a pretty flawed system. There's a reason we've been jumping through hoops with the Floodgate cycle for years. It's actually better than it used to be, because now it's very quick and easy to check whether someone is a patron or not. Because I could just check right now and see his last patronage was... 7 days ago. So, The video did say not to edit. I remember that. I remember saying that because, yeah. If you'll give me a moment, I have to actually find his post manually now. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so he's voting for stabbing myself in the eye and stabbing myself in the face. So we're going to go over to the document here. And we're going to find Godzilla. There it is. And what's the other one? Godzilla 2. Got it. You got it. And boom, we're updated. So that's what I go through every time someone actually votes. What was I going to say? Oh, by the way, sorry. Andre says, why don't you have the upfront system? I actually have the upfront system off. It's a toggle. It's something you can decide on. And I decided after some considerable thought to go ahead and leave that off. Mostly because it's kind of unfair to people who sub in at the wrong time. You know, if you sub in on the 29th, you will get charged $5, and then 3 days later you'll get charged $5, right? It doesn't move the monthly thing. It's still on the 1st. The second reason why is because the only thing that does is prevent patrons from being fake patrons. It only matters once a year, which I can check manually. If people want to pretend to give me money, which has happened, by the way. I've had people, patrons, like, here, $50, I totally pledged $50 a month. And it never materializes. Nothing comes of it. That doesn't actually go on the site. Like, you see the monthly amount I make that I leave public. That's actually the amount that is based on the last month's actual money come in, not how much is pledged. So, so that's what I'm thinking about with regards to connecting Patreon to streaming. I know Streamlabs has some kind of Patreon thing. I don't know what. In fact, I'm not even sure where that is, so I'll have to look into that. I suppose we could stop talking about my stupid stuff and start talking about things that people actually care about, such as the Nintendo Direct. I'm just going to get a quick timestamp because we've actually been talking for longer than I intended to. See, now, Tizara just changed his pledge, for example, but that doesn't change anything. At least it shouldn't change anything. Alright, so, Nintendo, as we all know, is the best thing ever. I'm sorry. So, Overwatch is coming out on the Switch. I don't actually care, but, you know, woo! It's a good thing. More things on the Switch are a good thing, so yay, more good things on the Switch. More things on the Switch are good, rather. I admittedly really don't care about Overwatch at this point in my life, but hey. While we're on the subject, there's something called Dauntless, which I'm just going to talk about right now because it appears to be an Overwatch-type game, which is also on the Switch. Woo! Moving on. Luigi's Mansion 3 had a few things announced, including, so there's going to be a lot of themed areas, which is awesome, so we won't be just going through, you know, the same Haunted Mansion over and over. It's getting a PvP versus mode, team mode even, which I don't care about at all, but hey, it's a cool thing. And it's getting a Mario Party mode.
Oh, welcome. Pay close attention. Hopefully you'll learn something.
Sometimes called the Hushy Love mode. Now, if you'll give me a moment, I'll look up the Hushy Love thing here really quick. Okay, Hushy Love says, I hate you, and I want you to stab yourself in the eye. Why do people want me to stab me in the eye? You know, it's funny, I actually don't like PvP board games all that much, Sonic Doctor. Like, I'll put up with them. But I'm usually on the prowl for... where is it? There we go. I'm usually on the prowl for co-op board games, which I enjoy much more. Hushy Love. Oh, and thank you very, very much, Hushy Love. Much obliged the support, sir, as always. What he actually said was hashtag not a patron. I have no idea, Max Time. I haven't played Mario Maker 2 yet. We're not there yet. Anyways, the other thing, though, the thing that really caught my attention is Jason Bauer. Jason Bauer always catches my attention. He walks by and it's just... Oh, I feel a flutter. Oh, hang on. I just had someone else comment on my post. You know what that means? It means I have to say thank you very much, Jason Bauer. Much obliged the sub. And thank you, SJ. Much obliged the bits, not the blitz. I don't want you to blitz. That would not be pleasant. Don't do that. It's not going to work out that well. SJ, do you happen to know where you want to put that? Yeah, welcome to Sub Week. This is probably going to be every week. For those of you who have not gotten the news, we're not streaming for a while. Probably, based off the top of my head, I would say we're probably not going to be streaming for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Okay, so, you know, that's a thing. We will still be streaming on Sundays and Thursdays, but that's it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why, Lore? Because this is what you voted for. We have YouTube work to do, and that takes time, and I gotta do the YouTube side of my show. The end, you know? There's nothing else for this. There's nothing else for this. We'll see how long it takes me. If it makes you feel any better, I've been working very, very hard, very, very late. Last night I actually went to bed late because I was actually working on a video up until like 10-something. Usually, by the way, for these who are not aware, I'm usually going to bed at about 10, so... usually about 2 weeks, give or take, Danny. It's actually already uploaded, but it'll probably go live in about 2 weeks. That's the norm. Don't push yourself too hard. No, I got work to do. And the best part, this is the best part about this type of work. I hate this type of work. You know what I mean? Because it's the type of work that doesn't have a deadline. It's like an inverted deadline. Every day past one is worse. So the longer you take, the worse it is. So you don't really have a deadline in the strictest sense of the word. You just have everything is going to continually get worse the longer this takes. So you're always frenetically trying to push through the... You know what I'm talking about, right? Thank you, Tazara. I'm gonna have to mute myself now. No, I'm kidding. It won't. I'm not gonna be multiple. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna mute myself because of the fact that I have to hit the button that mutes my mic, which is also my multiplicative button on my calculator. Because I was trying to figure out how much money you just put in there. You're right, Tazara. I am a worthless garbage piece of crap, and I know it. Even SJ knows it. There's no reason to deny it. Well, you know the question I'm going to ask you, Tazara. So I'm definitely not going to say thank you very, 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 very much. Thank you, sir. Oh my God, Alex. Thank you, Alex. Nintendo Direct. There's a new Kirby game. We'll talk about that later. Trials of Mana got a bit more showcasing, which is going to be coming out April 24th. So we have a release date for Trials of Mana now. It looks great. It looks like they've learned the lessons of the Psalm remake. Here's hoping. It probably doesn't have online co-op because they're stupid. The Return of the Obra Dinn is coming out on... Hang on. I don't want to lose what he's talking about. The Return of the Obra Dinn? Obra Dinn? Obra Dinn. There's Patreon. I'll look into that in a minute. Thank you, Dark Turn, because I couldn't even find it earlier. It's coming out on the Switch, which is awesome. By all accounts, the Obra Dinn... I have no idea how to pronounce this stupid thing. The OD is something that is a very good game by all accounts, and is a very cool, unique, interesting concept. So, good game on Switch. Good. Absolutely. Little Town Hero gets a name, and the name is Little Town Hero. Little Town Hero Looks awesome. I've been interested in it since I first saw it. Now, I'm curious what Max Time has to say about this. So, Little Town Hero is the game that Game Freak is working on instead of Pokemon. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that like that, but I have gotten the vibe. I have no sources for this. This is just an impression I've gotten that their core developers have been pushing most of their passion and effort into Little Town Hero instead of into the Pokemon series for some time now. We'll see exactly what becomes of that. One moment. Thank you, Tazara. Thank you very much, sir. It looks interesting. I've been interested in it since they first showcased it. We'll see. It comes out in October. It's actually coming out pretty soon. So, yeah. We just learned its name last week, and it's coming out in October. I love Nintendo. Now, then there's some Smash stuff. Now, you know, guys know I'm not a huge fan of Smash. But Banjo-Kazooie is coming out in Smash last week. It's already out as of right now. And, I mean, they did a whole separate video showcasing it, which I didn't actually watch, so I can't talk about that. They also added someone from the SNK series to Smash, Terry, specifically, which was the obvious choice. It's a damn shame, though, because I would have picked Geese. This is going to sound stupid. I've always had bad memories of Geese, but as a consequence, he's always stuck in my mind as, like, the main SNK fighter. Because Geese, well, yeah, he has more personality, and he has more presence, but more to the point, he's also a cheating bastard. But no, it's Terry. So woo, Terry. Yeah, I used to play the SNK titles quite a bit. I used to be really into the arcade fighting game, believe it or not. Back when I used to go to the arcades like once a week. We also found out that so we know there's a fifth challenger, which hasn't been revealed, but we have also found out that they're actually developing more fighters beyond that for additional DLC. Not surprising, but it is the first time they've officially announced that. So, yeah, I like how they did the Smash reveal, too. That was a nice touch. They showcased Link's Awakening briefly and Dragon Quest XI briefly. We didn't learn anything new about either. They're just kind of reminding people those exist. A Wii U game called Tokyo Mirage Sessions is being ported to the Switch with additional Fire Emblem content. I know basically nothing about this, so all I can comment is the fact that it's a game that's being ported to the Switch from the Wii U, which is awesome. Japan was... Wait, why would the US have Ryu? Shouldn't the US have Ken, if anything? Let's see. What else we got here? This was a surprise. This one caught me. So Deadly Premonition is getting a port to the Switch. And Deadly Premonition 2 has been announced. Now, I'm not exactly a fan of the franchise, but I know quite a few people who are. And I've known several people personally who have said that this is actually the biggest news from this particular Nintendo Direct, is the Deadly Premonition thing. So, woo! For resurrecting the Deadly Premonition series. And, you know, getting into... See you around, Balmung. Basically, I'm mostly a fan of this because it feels like they're trying to make sure that more niches... I never remember how to pronounce that name. Hang on. How do you pronounce this word?
Niche.
More niches are getting involved. It just sounds weird in the Switch and in gaming in general. So again, that's awesome. I think that's great. Speaking of which, Divinity Original Sin 2 is getting a Switch port. Now I'm buying the hell out of that. For those of you not aware, Divinity Original Sin 2 is my personal favorite CRPG of all time. Which is only really being challenged by Pillars of Eternity 2, which was also a very, very awesome CRPG. And it is getting cross-Steam cloud saves. So you can swap your saves from Steam to Switch and vice versa. Now, this was not confirmed, but it looks like you might be able to play co-op with someone else in a specific session who is using another version. So, for example, I could use the Switch to play with Pax, who's using the PC. Now, that is not confirmed. I want to make that clear. But even if it isn't confirmed, the fact that it's going to be on the Switch with cross-Steam saves is awesome. I'm buying the hell out of that. DOS 2 is a great game, and it deserves my money. CRPG, actually, a lot of people disagree on what the C stands for in CRPG, Alex. Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights, the Pillars of Eternity series, Tyranny. These are all CRPGs. Doom 64 is coming out on the Switch. I never played Doom 64. I've heard it described as the in-between between Doom 2 and Doom 3, basically, in terms of tone and approach. Shrug. I know a lot of people who are extremely excited about this, though. Apparently Doom 64 was actually really good. So, no, I'm with you, Max Time. We need to break those barriers down. I absolutely agree. So Doom 64 is coming out on the Switch, which is awesome. Let's see. Okay, so there's a new game which was announced called Rogue Company. Now, I did a little looking into this one. From the way it sounds, it looks like it's a co-op objective-based map kind of a game. Basically Left 4 Dead, if you've ever played that, except without the zombies. And that sounds awesome to me. That sounds the kind of thing that's completely my bag. I actually had a lot of fun with Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 back in the day. So I'm all in favor of that. Now, see, here's the weird thing. It's being made by a company called Hi-Rez Studios, which you've probably never heard of. They've made two other games you might have heard of, though. One is Smite, which is a MOBA, which I've actually played on camera, and Paladins, which kind of failed horribly. Nevertheless, they also did the Tribes Ascend pseudo MMO. So, not sure what to make of that. I'm at least curious. I'm at least interested. I'll poke at my friends to see if they want to play Rogue Company. Then we got a section on Pokemon Shield/Sword, and basically nothing new really showcased. It was mostly little minigame stuff. We're getting more variety for the cosmetics, which is good, as I talked about during my restream of the Nintendo Direct. We will probably end up playing, I'm guessing about an hour, give or take, on just setting up our outfits. They also have a camp section where you can talk to your Pokemon and play with them. It's the usual thing. And then, of course, we have a cooking minigame. Now, a cooking minigame can be either boring, awful, or awesome, in my experience. I know this sounds weird, but there's a lot of video games I could name where the cooking side stuff was actually surprisingly enjoyable. Final Fantasy 15, Paper Mario 1 and 2, Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda. So there's a few games where it's just like, yeah, okay, I had a lot of fun with that. Kingdom Hearts 3, yep, thank you, that's another good one, because I actually liked doing that in Kingdom Hearts 3. So we'll see what they do with the cooking thing. We'll see what they do with these ingredients. Anyway, sorry. Then we found out the SNES is on the Switch, and then Tetris 99 is getting a whole new harder ranked mode, which sounds fun. Tetris 99 is surprisingly fun, I'll admit it. I don't know what else to mention about that. Mario and Sonic Olympics actually looks legitimately fun. I've said that before. In fact, I think I'll actually pick this one up because not only does it look fun and has its own pixel mode, just for little side mini stuff, but it actually has a story mode. Now, unfortunately, thanks to Mario Tennis Aces, I'm still a little weary of a Mario game with a story mode because Mario Tennis Aces was awful, just terrible. But here's hoping. Either way, I was thinking about picking it up anyway, so that just kind of solidifies it for me. All right, let's rewind a second. The SNES is on the Switch now. And I actually have my Switch up right here. I know you can hear it, but cannot see it. And I'm pulling this up because I want to showcase what we've got so far. So we've got a game called Brawl Brothers, Breath of Fire 1, Demon's Crest F-Zero, Joe and Mac 2, Kirby's Dream Course, Kirby's Dream Land 3. I'm actually happy about that one. That's one of the rarest SNES games that exists, thanks to how late in the SNES cycle it was made. Pilot Wings, Star Fox, the original, Stunt Race FX, a surprisingly good racing game that most people probably never even heard of. EDF, the Earth Defense Force, I played that. Super Goals and Ghosts, also known as Screw You and Screw Your Controller. Then we've got a game that I don't know what it is because it's in Japanese. Super Soccer, Super Tennis, and then 5 little-known games. Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Super Metroid, and Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. Think I could do it right now? Think I could do it? Yes or no? Yes or no? I've been practicing speedrunning. Guys, I can speedrun on the Switch. Do you know how much that means to me? Do you have any idea what it means to me to be able to do this on a controller that doesn't hurt? Nope. Screwed it up. I didn't do it. One more try, one more try. I'm kind of looking, so my monitor is actually over there, and it's angled this way, so it's actually angled away from me. You'll notice I'm already using save states. Oh yeah, I need to try the rewind function. I haven't actually tried the rewind function. Hang on. No, okay, so let's rewind. How do I do this? Oh, here we go. So I just do this. Okay, this is weird. There we go. Took me 3 tries. I suck, I know. I'm out of practice. I haven't played this since whenever the last time I streamed it is. And there's the Varia suit. And now I'm just... The rest of the stream is just going to be me playing Super Metroid. You're going to have to try and guess where I am based on the sound. But no, I am very, 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 very happy about this. You know what this means? This means that in 20 years I can play games I love on a system that'll not hurt me to play. And I cannot put into words how much that means to me. I can't. There are no words to explain how much that means to me. I need to stop playing Super Metroid. Laura, stop playing Super Metroid. I'm really happy about this. It could be better. It probably will get better. If they follow the same pattern they did with the NES, they'll keep adding, you know, more stuff to the Switch. See, but that's not true, Max Time, because these don't exist on the PC. This is not a thing on the PC. That, and being able to play that in my bed as I'm going to bed, as I'm falling asleep, is not a thing that exists on the PC. This is new to me, damn it. Let me be excited. Speaking of which, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast is coming out on the Switch. Excellent music cue. I don't even know what to make of that. That surprised the hell out of me. It was just... Huh? So yeah, Jedi Outcast is coming out on the Switch, September 24th. Cool! I am completely down with that, and I'm already going to buy it, obviously. Then they showed off Witcher 3 briefly, and they 100% confirmed this is something that's been kind of roaming around the realm of rumor for a little bit too long. Witcher 3 on the Switch will, in fact, include Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, so that's awesome. I've already bought that one. They announced the Rebel Collection for Assassin's Creed on the Switch, which is going to include Black Flag and Rogue. So, Rogue was an okay game. I played it on stream. Black Flag is my favorite Assassin's Creed game. Awesome. I cannot... That's awesome. That's another must-buy for me. Getting the Assassin's Creed 4... Yeah, it's packaged together. It's one bundle. Getting Assassin's Creed Black Flag on the Switch, worth it. The first one... Okay, Rian-Q, I'm going to answer you very directly really quick here. The Divinity Original Sin 1 is an okay game, but it doesn't really have a lot of the substance or strength of design that the second game has. Basically, the first game is fun enough, but you might as well not even have the story mode because it's barely there. So if you just enjoy running around and playing with a friend, sure, go for it. It's also worth noting the first game only has support for 2 players, whereas the second game has support for 4. So, basically, DOS 2 is DOS 1, but better in every way. Better individual counter design, better variety, better options, better build, better balancing, better level layout, better quests, better story, better interactivity. Just better across the board. You got it, Rian-Q. So, there's a game called Grid Autosport coming out. I have no idea what it is. I meant to look into it. I didn't have time. Farming Simulator 20 is coming out. Ni no Kuni, that's something we already knew about. Call of Cthulhu is coming out. They confirmed that there's going to be a Switch port of Outer Worlds. At this point, that might be the version of Outer Worlds we play for a premiere run, whenever that comes. We don't have a release date yet. But the fact that Outer Worlds is coming out on the Switch, woo! You know, I'm with that. It's worth... It's either that or we wait a year, right, for it to come out on an actual digital distributor. Now, this is interesting. I'm apparently an idiot. So what happened is Devil May Cry 2 was announced for the Switch. And my first reaction was, why 2? Like, just knee-jerk reaction. Why would you release 2 on the Switch? It turns out Devil May Cry 1 is already on the Switch. And I just kind of missed that somehow. That's on me for being an idiot. So, DMC 1 came out on the Switch earlier this year. DMC 2 is coming out on the Switch next week, I think. Nope, week from now. Week from then. So, DMC 3 on the Switch? For those of you who are not aware of this, DMC 3 is among my favorite games of all time. It's probably my favorite game of that particular genre, although 5 might actually challenge that. I would really like DMC 3 to come out on the Switch. That would really make me happy. So... Come on! Anyways, they're also releasing a port of Vampire on the Switch, which is a game I myself have streamed, and, well, it had some pretty serious issues, especially on the combat axis, but I did actually enjoy that game quite a lot. So, Vampire's coming out on the Switch, which is awesome. That's coming out in October. I'm thinking about it, Hazardous, legitimately. Switch is going to need a bigger storage. Yeah, there's a reason I've got a 256 gigger in there. At least I think that's what I got in there right now. Hang on, where's the... Just going to check really quick here. Yep, that's what I got in there. It's. I have I have over 200 gigs of free space, and I have a lot of downloaded games. Yeah, if you're going to go full in on the Switch, take my advice, buy your own SD card. Don't buy one of the Nintendo ones, they kind of suck. Get your own, much larger SD card. Anyways. They showed off Animal Crossing, briefly. Honestly, I didn't see much there that was all that interesting. It's just, hey, it's Animal Crossing, which is awesome. Don't mistake me, it's Animal Crossing. Someone actually asked a question during the stream when we were restreaming it. They said, what's the appeal of Animal Crossing? And I gave a brief answer. I wanted to give more of a significant answer to that. Imagine if you could enjoy everyday life with all of the problems taken out of it. And that is probably the easiest way to explain Animal Crossing for me. And I understand that appeal. I actually get that appeal. It's how I used to play Sims 3. You know, play an everyday life with all of the gluck just kind of ripped out of it. You don't have to worry about, you know, not eating tomorrow. You don't have to worry about being destitute. You don't have to worry about whether or not you can make the bills meet. You don't have to worry about how horrible your job is. You don't have to worry about, you know, any of the everyday awful crap that happens in everyday life. It's just an everyday life with all of that ripped out of it. Yeah, Stardew Valley, Sims, Minecraft, kind of similar overall approach. Although Minecraft kind of goes into the build and survival things, but you get the idea. So, it looks interesting. I might pick it out. We'll see. And then their big final surprise was they are porting Xenoblade 1 to the Switch. Now that's interesting. I'm not sure what I think of that exactly. I know several people who are really excited about that and very happy about the direction that's going. I have a picture for you guys, because unfortunately we have very little information available on exactly what's going to be in it, like what's going to be in the version. Give me one moment, please. There it is. Like, are they actually changing anything? Are they adding any new content? Are they... what do we know? We do know, however, that they're upping the graphics, and I know that because I have a comparison right here to show you. I'm just going to expand this a bit so you can kind of see. On the left, we have the Wii version, and on the right, we have the Switch version. So you can kind of see how they have done a pass there in order to polish and change the graphics rather substantially, actually. And again, shot-by-shot comparison. So, this is the one thing we do know with total certainty they are doing with the game. It may just be a graphics overhaul, a remaster in short. But that is the one thing we do know that they are doing. Who knows going forward? Either way, I know several people are pretty excited about that, so woo! As I've said many times, more games on the Switch is always a good thing. Now, I said we'd skip over the Kirby thing. That's because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go down here. Now, I actually already have a friend who's played this. Yes. Metroid. 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 Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to be playing Metroid, am I? Damn it, but it's Metroid! Don't you understand? Of course you don't. Okay, for real. For real. For real. Metroid, yes. Get rid of stuff on the... What stuff on the bottom? Fusion Catalyst. Oh, yes, you can. There's an option to get rid of that. Sorry, I didn't even know what you were talking about. Okay, so I want to get my own opinion on this, but a friend of mine has already played it, and he says it's garbage, and I believe him. Long, long ago, in a faraway realm, there was a beautiful, peaceful land called the Dream Kingdom. One surprising day, Hornhead went on a rampage across the seaside. So it came to pass that Team Kirby set off on an adventure to restore peace to the kingdom. So that's your story. I hope that's enough for you, because screw you! Hello, Pink Stranger. You must be Kirby. Thank you for stepping up to protect the Dream Kingdom. You're a real hero. What am I talking about, you ask? Hornhead has gone berserk over seaside. We don't know what to do. Can you attack, save the kingdom? Go to the quest board. Okay. So. I shall be Hammerlord. Oh god, I love that title. The Hammerlord. Dr. Healmore. Or the Beam Mage. No, we'll be Hammerlord, yeah. And we'll turn our teammate into Teammate Heals a Lot. So yeah, this looks like a mobile game. Except bad. Sorry for being redundant. Yep, that's nice. That's nice. So you can already see the structure of it. We got a timer, we got a boss, and we're teaming up. You're supposed to team up with other players, but I mean, you get the idea. We did it. Oh wait, no, we didn't do it. He's even more powerful than he's ever been. This is the game, by the way. This is the whole game. Yeah, I will actually agree with that. We should use the term hammer lore going forward. Can we just adopt that into our lexicon going forward. By the way, notice how... Well, it's kind of hard to show. We totally won. The hammer lore. This lore needs a hammering. So, it's all timed, and you get bonuses for points, and it's a mobile game. It's a mobile game. This is kind of it, by the way. You have seen the entire game. Like, you can kind of see how this structure is going to go. Thank you for defeating Hornhead. Many enemies still rampage. The gem tree has matured. You can take some gem harvests. Yay, gem apples. So, you know how I can really add... This is what I said. You remember right at the beginning I said Nintendo's awesome and awful? This is the awful part. You look in the upper right. You see that? That's our stamina meter. Now, for those of you who have... Oh yeah, by the way, look how slow our movement speed is. This is true in combat, too. So... For those of you who haven't played mobile games, stamina is an awful concept. The way it works is you have X amount of stamina. Certain things can raise it, but the idea is as you do actions, basically as you play the game, you lose stamina. Once you run out of stamina, you have to stop playing the game. Oh, unless you want to pay for more stamina, you want to give us real money? Because you can give us real money to pay for more stamina. Think of all the stamina you could have if you just give us real money. 11 the walk speed here. So let's see what their prices are like, shall we? Wait, why is Magalore the... whatever. Yep, that's great, that's great. Yep. So gem apples are the currency of the game that you have to buy. With real money. Because of course you do. Did you know you could spend $40 on this game? Wouldn't that be awesome if you could dump $40 on this stupid piece of crap? God, I literally cannot process that. I literally cannot understand that. Why would you spend $40 on this piece of crap? So here's the stamina potion, which costs 90 apples. Or hang on, so one stamina... That doesn't actually answer the question. Hang on. And of course they're offset. So it looks like it's about $1 for one stamina potion. But it doesn't tell me how much. So let's go ahead and buy a stamina potion. Let's see how much this actually restores our stamina. God, yeah, the fact that this is mild, the fact that this is not as bad as it gets, irritates me. Because it gets so much worse than this. No, this is not a good game. This is an awful game. This is the awful games done slow. This is not a Kirby game. Trust me. There we go. So just see... You saw our stamina usage there in the upper right. We'll see it again once we beat this boss really quick. Yeah, real Kirby games are great. Go play an actual Kirby game. Don't play this. This is not an actual Kirby game. This is not an actual game. This is garbage. The only reason I'm still playing it is because I want even more ammunition to make fun of it, because it's garbage. You know, I've been accused in the past of being anti-mobile, and I tried really, really, really hard for years to be as tolerant as I could of the mobile market. I have since given up. I am no longer tolerant of the mobile market. Screw mobile gaming. Screw the style of it. Screw the approach of it. Screw the predatory nature of it. Screw how much it tries to rip money out of you for something that doesn't matter. Screw how they try to hide that behind saying, oh, you can just wait. It's just cosmetic. Yeah, it's exploitative drivel. And there's not even a real game here, which is probably the worst part of all. This isn't even a real game. Like, this would be at least understandable if there was some kind of actual gameplay underneath this. By the way, do you happen to notice how the hover thing just doesn't work the right way? Check it out. You can't float up. You can only slowly float down. In a Kirby game. What in the world? Look at this. This is me mashing the button as I slowly fall. Hang on. I got one last thing to do here, Alex, because I need to show this off. Yeah, this is basically a minigame gimmick grafted on... unfortunately, I leveled. That's going to refill my stamina. Blah, 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 blah.
Zug Zug.
Hi, SJ. Kill me, SJ. Kill me. Yep, that refilled my vigor. God dang it. Whatever. I was trying to see how much it cost to do the mission. Maybe it'll tell me here. It's easier to collect fragments and gem apples there than in the story. You have a party vigor and a story vigor. Oh no, this is on the Switch. Yeah, this is personally insulting. Is it going to say? It does. So it cost 5 vigor to do that mission. Okay. Yeah, so for those of you who aren't aware of just how disgusting mobile games really are, mobile games are pretty much completely front-loaded. This is true with almost every major mobile game. The idea is they want you to think, oh man, look how much I can do, look how fast this is. And then you basically hit a point where you run into a wall. If you keep going, there's actually usually a second wall after that. Then you just stay there at absolutely inching forward progress for the entire rest of the game until you either beat it or it's a game designed not to be beaten. And that's the game. You are intended to spend money on it. Now, unfortunately, it looks like I can't actually show off how disgusting the money stuff is in this one, but I'm going to assume that 1 apple refills your stamina. So that'd be about $1 to refill one of the stamina bars, just to put that into similarity. Do not buy this. In fact, get this crap off of my Switch right now. Get off. Delete software forever. Go away and die. Hey, look, FF8 came out. Hey, what's this game? Anyways. God, that just... You mean again, Oliver's in? Oh, I know, Max Time. But I had to at least showcase it on stream, and that's the unfortunateness of it. Yeah, so for the Switch, well, I pre-ordered it like months ago, but I probably won't play it. I won't have time. I'll be playing Super Metroid. Wait. Hang on. Alright, guys. What game am I playing? Let's do this one. Okay, this probably gives it away way too hard. Anyone? Hey, look, it's a real video game that I spent real money on once upon a time to procure the game, which was both fun and interesting, and I owned the game. Isn't that weird how that works out? Okay, I am very much an opponent of the idea that things used to be better back in the day, because that's not true. Things have always been crap. But it is starting to piss me off, the variance between gaming as it once was designed and gaming as it is now. Because the way it used to work is this. Real quick, should I go with the cat or the hamster? So, the way it used to work is what we'd have is a whole lot of drivel and dreck games. We would. The NES library has a lot of crap on it. The SNES library has a lot of crap on it. Hamster, okay. How do I get on the hamster? There we go. But you could just avoid the crap games, thanks to a combination of actually paying attention to your friends, or proper game reviews, or being able to rent the games. It was possible to find out which games were dreck and avoid them. So real talk, the first time I ever technically was a game reviewer was back when I was a kid, because I was the one who would rent a game every week, because my parents were well off. And I would tell my friends, don't pick up such and such. Do pick up this, don't pick up this, in order to try and help them to make their own decisions with regards to renting and playing. Now, obviously that isn't exactly a perfect system, because again, there was a lot of dreck on the system. But I could just avoid the dreck. I could just go and, play a good game that I enjoyed, rather than having to rent a game that I license, excuse me, is the correct word, license a game I don't actually own and pay $50 to get a slight boost to a game that I don't even enjoy. Freaking stupid, goddamn, stupid. I do agree games as a service has its place. I do. I'm actually a big proponent of the idea of a subscription-based MMO. I actually think the free-to-play MMOs generally are worse than, subscription-based MMOs as a core concept. I'll stand by that any day of the week. But honestly, let's just go ahead and get back to what Takoida was saying there. What happened is people saw the financial benefits of gaming as an industry, and so industry moved in. And industry did what industry always does. Try to maximize profits in order to minimize profits and minimize output. Like, we could just say they ruined things, and that's certainly true, but the core problem is the fact that they actually sit... I'm going to stop playing this, I'm sorry for wasting your time here. The core problem is they want to spend as little as possible and get as much as possible. And there's like a certain point at which this stops being efficiency and starts being just hard greed. And it gets to the point where they are actively destroying the quality of both their workers and their company and their product and their customers' trust and support and general enjoyment of life in order to try and squeeze a few more bucks out of a market. There is a certain benefit to trying to be efficient. It's not the efficiency that's the problem, though. It's the extremism of it. Speaking of bad games on the SNES, I'm gonna get some flack for saying that. Is there going to be any music at any point in time? Hello? There we go. I'm sorry, I don't like this game. I don't think it's a particularly good RPG. At best, it is sand. But this isn't even the Drac. There's so much worse than this on the SNES. It's just not on this. Yeah, this is a very walkthrough-itis game. A lot of older RPGs are. Why do you like Breath of Fire 1, Blue Wolf, Alex? I mean, I like Breath of Fire 2, and that's probably a bad game too, if I'm being honest. Here, guys.